Okay, seems like we're live now. I hope that everything's running smoothly on the channel. Let me just check the audio a bit. Okay, seems like we're live now. Seems like it's fine. All right, so yeah, today we're going to do a trash build tournament. So what is this trash build tournament, you might ask? So basically, players will be setting up their armies not for themselves, but for their opponents, and they're feel free to bring all kind of trash units, trash combinations, whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. All right, and yeah, whoever's. And so, like, both players will be forced to play with the kind of dumpster fire army, like, designed by their opponent. And it's gonna be glorious. We have all kinds of non-meta units, really weird campaign-y AI builds, and some weird theme builds. So, anyways, let's see who volunteers first for play. So we're live now. Alright, so let's see who's volunteering on Discord to play first. Let's see. Ice Power? What's your lobby, man? Oh, right, I forgot to... Oh, right, I totally forgot to share this to all the Discords. Just let me quickly do that while we wait for Ice Power to set up the stuff. Yep, I was too busy setting up the thing and too busy setting up all the builds for all the participants. I totally forgot to start pushing my my stream in the other Discord channels, but yeah. Anyways, let me just quickly post these in all kinds of Discords. Let's see. Yep, excuse me for a sec. This is way too late for me to be doing this, but you know, just gotta push a little bit more exposure for the whole event. And just let me quickly do this so we don't keep too many of our participants waiting, but this is a pretty repetitive process of, okay, self-promotion, there we go. And yep, should be fine. All right, sorry for the wait. Hi, Ice Power. Let me just quickly join your chat. So 20 builds. Zep, the tournament already shuffled. So Ice Power will be facing off Liminal Boundary. Now I'm not gonna put any covering for the for both players, whoever they're playing, like, because the builds are basically posted on Discord so that everyone can easily see whatever their opponent has designed for them. And let's see who's okay. Ice Power will be facing off, let me just check, challenge, start the tournament. Ice Power will be facing Uncle Gant. Okay, so I need to find their... This is annoying. Okay, so ice power. What is your? Okay, well let me see. I think I see ice power. Yep, ice power, right there. What? Can't spectate. What do you mean I can't spectate? What? What? Ice power is your lobby open for spectating. Okay, maybe I just need to reload this. Yep, I can spectate now. Okay. 1, 2, 1, but yep. Right, let's join and see the build. Let me just quickly load up their build for ice power. With the build designed by XMT Uncle Gant, they will be forced to play Vampire Count with a rather freaking weird build. Let me just load up on Discord. Which with Manfred von Karstein, double Vampire, regular ones. The Shadow ones, heroes. With no healing at all, no spells if I remember correctly. And, well, they have some healing, but only for the self-healing of the vampires. The Manfred von Karstein did bring about their the hunger for the self-heals, but other than that, no more active healing. And on top of that, their units are really limited in the form of multiple Felbats and 3 Hax Raves. All of them golden chevron. So they do have a minimal troop requirement of 300 models, but this basically counts 60 on Hex Raves, 60 on Felbats, so 60 times 5, 300, that counts, that fulfills the whole limit. Now for XMT Uncle Gant, with the build designed by Ice Power, you can see that's a lot of trees, very eco-friendly and whatnot. Dryads, 4 of them golden chevron, Treekins, 4 of them golden chevron, both players are ready. All of these 3 units do not have any spells, but with full ability. So all the magic they can regenerate, but not a single bit can be used in anything. Now, if like the multiplayer does count the magic into part of the balance of power, then maybe, just maybe, it will be a decent way to win. Like, just pump out the magic, occupy the balance of power, but unfortunately, we don't have this today. So yeah, let me just check. Alright, seems everything should be in order. My stream is loaded on my phone now. Let me just quickly put up the setup. And it seems that both armies are ready to fight. Now, honestly, Ice Power's build, the tree build, this is going to be confusing, but yeah, the tree build designed by Ice Power would be actually a really good army pick against all these Hex Raves with all the magic damage, but of course, the Hex Raves now are slightly more tanky with less physical resistance in exchange of more HP. Still, this is going to be really hard for the tree units because this is all magic attacks. I mean, not for the tree units, for the ethereal units, because this is all magic attacks. Yes, they do have 100% armor piercing, but those trees, they are just gonna melt the Hex Raves on impact. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Let's see how much Ice Power can pull on this battle. You can see that the trees are moving forward pretty smoothly. I mean, there's really nothing to stop them. Felbats dropping down with their gold chevron status. They are actually doing some minor damage to the Dryads. Oh, it seems that we're lagging a slight bit here. Not sure if this is my Wi-Fi or is anyone else's internet, but it's still proceeding, so it's alright. Stabilize a bit now. Manfred von Karstein and the Hex Raves are charging in, doing some decent damage to the Treekin, but they can't stay there for too long because they will quickly get damaged by the counterattacks. So they'll be diving in, quickly retreating, but the Felbats are dying from all those Dryads. Ice Power might need to use those Hex Waves to perform rear charges against the Dryads. They do have magic attacks, so that will be punching through the physical resistance on the tree units. Of course, they still don't want to stay too long. Their Frenzy... No, they... wait, do they have Frenzy? Oh, they don't have Frenzy. Anyway. Dryads will be taking significant damage from this enveloping, but... interesting. So Ice Power is using all these single entities as kind of an anchor, delaying enemy units advance. They do have that tanky status and also self-heals. Not exactly on the Vampire of Shadows, but... wait. Scroll of Leeching. Power recharge minus 40%, but their opponents aren't bringing any magic at all anyway, so that's not going to be anything useful. Wait. Oh, they adjusted the build a bit, so the Vampires of Shadows do not have the healing ability. Manfred does have the hunger though, so they probably can just stay around for a little bit longer. Let's see. Yep, it seems that the stream is still going smooth enough. Anyways, Dryads did some pretty decent damage, quite substantial to the Hex Waves. Unfortunate for the Hex Waves, their physical resistance is completely useless here, and they're only cycle charging Dryads, which are basically cheap to have. Really, it comes down to whether Manfred can tank out this, grind out this engagement with the help of the two Vampires, but it seems that the Vampires are just getting smacked by that tree. It's not Papa Tree Durfloop, but that armor piercing is still really substantial in punching through those armor on the Vampire units. At the same time, the Hex Waves do not really have any good engagements other than running away. They can charge in, but every time they charge in, they will be taking significant losses, even if they rear charge the tree kins and whatnot. It is still looking quite dicey for them with the Dryad screening away. This is a huge blob of trees, really. Just a solid bow right here of a lot of tree units. Yeah. Oh, the trees are getting a bit choppy, slamming in. They should do some decent damage, but the damage value is like 5-1 now. This is looking really grim for the tree army. One thing to note is that once that a player is eliminated from the tournament, his build will also be thrown out of the tournament with the player. So we can expect that after the tree army winning this battle, they probably would not be, like, we definitely would not seeing them the next round. Instead, some other players, poor players, will be using some other poor build, i.e. this ridiculous vampire army with only 300 models, 3 Hex Waves. They just dies to any kind of magic damage. But yeah, if they find the right unit, they might actually win, and this build would then be eliminated from the tournament. Anyways, let's see. Well, Army Losses is hit now because the magic damage simply is too much for the Hex Waves to handle. So GG to both players here. Ice Power really unluckily running into that one build. His tree build is really good against. So with the Vampire Count losing this battle, Ice Power will be eliminated. And with Ice Power's design, this tree build will also be thrown out of this tournament. Instead, Uncle Gant with the Vampire Counts build, will be proceeding to the next round in the tournament. So now let me just return to Discord and see who's up next. Actually, I'm playing in this tournament too, so... Oh, Phoenix King and Zap, maybe? Yep, sure. Yeah, Phoenix King and Zap will be playing as well. Okay, actually multiplayer repeat back. Okay, good. We got all the sets. Yep, cool. Got the map set up. Now we just need Phoenix King and Zap to set up their lobby and for me to join and spectate. Yeah, this is just a trash build tournament, to be fair. Everyone, this is gonna be ridiculous. Let me just check what Phoenix King's build and Zap's build are. So Zap's build is a very weird Cathay build. which is unnamed, but every player basically named their build as well, just for me to introduce them with a bit of flair. For Zap, the build is unnamed, but what can be said is that it is a ridiculous build of pure firepower. 4 Jade Warriors with crossbows, 4 Celestial Dragon crossbows, 2 Sky Lanterns, 2 Sky Junks, and 1 Lord Magistrate on a Sky Lantern. No doubt the whole idea of this build is that once the Jade Warriors and Dragon Celestial crossbows are routed by Zep himself with their with whatever trash build their opponent designed for them, the Sky Lanterns will not be able to land and route from battle. But really, it depends on whether the build Zap is controlling can weather the storm of all that firepower from the crossbows and the Sky Lantern Sky Junks. Let me see, what's Phoenix King's build? That is a lot of freaking cavalry. 3 yeoman archers, 4 yeomans, and actually, let me just join their lobby. Sup versus Phoenix. Let me just refresh. Yeah, we will talk about Phoenix King's builds later. Yep. I assume it's the same password. Yep. It's always that password. Anyways, okay, so Bretonnia for the Phoenix King's Bretonnia build designed for Sep, or all the opponents of Phoenix King would be Réponse de Lyonnaise. I'm actually mad at Réponse being called a trash unit and dumped into this trash build, Tony. You know how much I simp for basically based on the videos. Based on some of my past videos, you probably would know how much I simp for this Lady of the Lady. Now, for the rest of the build, we have an elite infantry, superhuman 4-legged infantry of the Bretonians. Well, it is a mounted cavalry after all, but look at the stat lines: 36 attack, 58 melee defense, super tanky with 120 armor, and quite a decent number of HP. Well, it basically is the only unit that can hold the line in this entire trash Bretonian build, with 4 mounted yeomen, 4 mounted yeoman archers, all gold chevrons to waste that gold for their opponent, 2 Grail Knights, and that's basically it. Full mobility. This name is called Réponse and Friends help you get good, because you do need all that micro you can get to control all these cavalry units. Well, Réponse is on foot after all, but other than that, everything is just, it's gonna be a rough cavalry time. Grand Cathay, you can see here, 4 Celestial Dragon crossbows, 4 crossbows, Sky Lanterns, Sky Junks. Yeah, it's trash. But yeah, anyways, that is all for the builds. Let's see when the players are starting. Yep, Réponse is good, Ice Power. I do agree with that. Personally, really like using Réponse in a lot of matchups because, well, they kind of expect you to go Fei and Luan and goes for that sniping attempt, but then you bring a foot Réponse there, and you can't really snipe out Réponse because she is actually good in melee, even on, and like she can be a good foot lord, have that tanky iframes of being knocked over. Réponse is not. Oh, Réponse is not on foot. Oh, you must have not brought any of her abilities. Okay, that's fair then, Zep. Yeah, let's see. Evangelos, Vasily, yeah, this. Catherine is best girl. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna argue with you because it's not worth it. Réponse is best girl. Like, she has the explosion, and you know, she is a strong and independent woman who can fight. And unlike Catherine, who relies on freaking bears, yeah, and relies on weird fancy magic, but no, Réponse is only her with her sword and her armor and her banner, with a bit of blessing from the lady, but that's not important here, since she does not have that kind of superhuman buffs of Grail Knight. So she is basically an ordinary farmer girl with a sword, and she beats the crap out of a lot of characters with her stats. So no, Rapunzel is best girl. Zap, she's set up with one ability and item for Rapunzel. Okay, that's actually good enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, the banner of Fleur de Lis and her sword. Yep, that should be fine. And then the surprisingly cheap. Yes, she is extremely cheap for the Bretonnian leadership, basically. Oh, also let me know if there's any like lagging issues for like the video, because right now I'm using like a mobile dongle for my internet, and due to my flat like crap Wi-Fi, crap broadband, so I have to resort to a different solution. But yeah, let's see. Phoenix King. Wait, I think these two players might be connecting like across the world, so the connection might be a bit finicky. I am not sure. Anyways, it seems that we're taking some time to wait for the games to load. Oh, it's just your PC. All right. If that's the case, then it should be fine then. Since well, I did play it with Phoenix King earlier before, and not today, but like a couple weeks ago. So like, they can actually load the game properly. It's just that it might take some. Yep, you can see here a glorious. Oh wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah, they disappeared for a second. Thought they'd crashed, but no, it's fine. It's fine. Anyways, it's a glorious BS play of armored crossbowmen. Like now, this might be a pretty decent fight for both armies, because while one Bretonnia needs to use the micro to their advantage, really just overwhelm all these archer line, but the armored crossbowmen of Cathay might be a bit tough for everyone to fight. Now, mounted yeomen, maybe they have gold chevrons, but their stats are still, well, crap. And celestial dragon crossbows do have that heavy armor and melee stats to maybe beat back skirmishing cavalry. Depending on the skirmishing cavalry, really. But still, it's not easy to shut down all these celestial dragon crossbows, especially with the fire support from above, the sky lanterns, sky junks. The good thing is that there is no harmony buffing their reload speed or melee stats, because there's not a single melee infantry with the Yang attribute. So these sky lanterns will take a really heavy responsibility here to shut down those cavalry, along with the celestial dragon crossbows. Jade warrior crossbows, they can do some decent damage, but I mean, they don't have AP, so the Grail Knights would be a challenge. But of course, they would be easy to shut down the mounted yeomen, archers, and mounted yeomen. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. We are waiting for these guys to set up the army. It seems that the cavalry are going for that flanking maneuver, and oh boy, oh, this is gonna be beautiful. Another reason why I don't put up the screen blocker is that because, well, each player are designing the armies themselves, so they know what their opponent is bringing. Anyways, there's no point in really blocking. I might. Nah, I'm not gonna bother screen blocking the army deployment. It's not worth it. Anyways, we have sky junks shooting at a bunch of cavalry on the flanks, in the middle, and whatnot. Sky lanterns are at the front, chipping away the health of all these Grail Knights, doing some decent damage actually. Now the explosions are coming in, blasting away, aiming at the single entities. That's probably because of the auto fire, not exactly the greatest pick, but they will probably switch around targets soon. They need to use those sky junks to really blast down the Grail Knights, especially with these Grail units so blobbed up right now. Oh boy, it's gonna hurt from the crossbows. Oh, Grail Guardians taking some decent damage from the arm-piercing crossbows. Oh, mounted yeoman charging into the Jade Warrior crossbows, but it seems that there's more friendly fire damage than the charge impact damage. Over here, more Grail Knights charging into the Celestial Dragon crossbows, actually doing a really decent damage over here, but the other Grail Guardians are just getting focused down by all those crossbow fire. They need to send in those mounted yeomen to shut down the other crossbows on the right flank. Celestial Dragon crossbows turning around to crossfire along with some sky jumps, but there are more mounted yeomen flanking around, this time going after the flanks and rear of the Jade Warrior crossbowmen. Inspired Defense is upgrading the melee defense and leadership, helping them hold, but it's not enough. Not even with the help of Inspired Assault. They do not have that kind of punching power to crack the Grail Guardian's armor. Now the Jade Warrior crossbows are firing after all, but there are just more and more Grail Knights pouring into the front line. Another Celestial Dragon crossbow is routed, and Jade Warrior crossbows is also getting surrounded, and then Ethereal Manticore is summoned. This is going to be hardcore because I did saw Phoenix King bringing the Ethereal Manticore summon, and I know that this would be a huge challenge for this kind of tournament because Ethereal Manticore summon is just such a good spell. It is now disrupting the Jade Warrior crossbow as well. Only 2 Celestial Dragon crossbows. Only 2 crossbows, one of them the Jade Warriors, are still online, and now the Celestial Dragon crossbows are shut down by the sacrifice of mounted yeoman archers. More cavalry are just wrapping around the flank. The Sky Junks and Sky Lanterns simply do not have that kind of damage output to quickly shut down all these mounted cavalry units. Oh no. Oh boy. This is not gonna be good for the crossbows. They probably should be pulling back instead of standing their ground at this point, as the more and more cavalry just pour into the formations. Sky Lanterns and Sky Junks can't do anything but sit there and watch as most of their units are just being shot, overrun by all these Cathay units. After all this, this ridiculous Celestial Dragon build is quite fragile to all these kinds of melee rush attacks. Now it'll be interesting to see it fare against the other battles, other matchups, but in this situation, it seems that the Cathay crossbows are basically it. Oh wait, no, wait. But the problem is mounted yeoman archers are running out of steam. The Celestial Dragon crossbows are still holding due to the lack of Grail Knights and Grail Guardians running them down, and so the ammo of the Sky Junks are actually wearing down the Bretonnian Heavy Cav quite effectively. Another spell is dropped onto the Jade Warrior crossbow. Probably not the best choice. Probably better to just drop it onto the Celestial Dragon crossbows. But it seems that even with the victory on the ground forces, the Sky Lantern, Sky Junk, Cathay Air Force is slowly emerging on top, as the balance of power is now in the favor of the Cathay army, while most of the Bretonnian cavalry is extremely tainted from the firepower. Now there are still some healthy mounted yeomen, but they really need to make sure all of the Cathay crossbows and whatnot are completely shattered, otherwise they would not start the countdown for the arrow units. Now this might be a bit of a boring time period of the whole game right now, as we are waiting for the Bretonnian cavalry to clean up the routing Cathay ground forces, and once they do that, then the countdown for the your lack of ground troops, you need to land an attack kind of thing, the counter would begin. So yeah, we'll have to wait a bit. As you can see here, there are still some units not completely shattered and are basically considered still a present force of Cathay ground forces. Yeah, it's taking time for sure. But can the Bretonnian army hold out till then? That's going to be an issue, as well. You can see that everything is running away. All that's holding really are just a few cavalry units and, well, Rapons is the hero. The crane guns on top are still shooting, chipping away out of all these cavalry units, and they're not exactly routed just yet, unfortunately, for the Bretonnian side. Now, Zap here, controlling the Bretonnian army, has done a good job in eliminating the ground forces, but shutting down all that missile infantry. But there's just no way for this Bretonnian build to deal with aerial threats like these, other than using the mounted yeoman archers to slowly chip away their health. But it seems that the lack of ground troops has triggered the penalty, the morale penalty now. The Cathay Air Force would be now forced to attack on the ground, or else they would not start to count down for the leadership. As you can see here, the leadership here on right in the panel is slowly taking the really long line, really. The enemy is in control of the battlefield. You must attack by land. The leadership penalty is slowly ticking up. So either the Cathay forces have to rout off all these Bretonnian troops before the timer runs out, which is still going to be quite a long while, since they do have quite a bit of leadership left. But it seems that, oh wait, a Feral Manticore has been summoned up to gang on the to really hit down the Lord Magistrate, terror routing him for now, and then hitting another Sky Junk. A really good use of the Manticore, really. I did not expect it to be used in a way to hunt down the Sky Junk, because they are decently tanky and are not that easy to rout. But the damage does help to lower the leadership of the Lord Magistrate, and once the Lord Magistrate routs for good, then all the Sky Junks will be hit by the leadership debuff as well, and then it will be a chain rout. But it seems that, oh wait, the Bretonnian forces are slowly being chipped away. Like, it is slowly pushed. The leadership, the balance of power wise, Bretonnian is slowly equalizing the playing field, but most of the cavalry are just routing. Even Rapons, after taking all the shots from the Sky Junk, Sky Lanterns and whatnot, her leadership is actually slowly being lowered. But now with the Lord Magistrate being routed, and with an enemy unit present to really just keep that leadership low, well, it seems that the Cathay's leadership is gonna hit rock bottom. You can see that with every second goes by, every 2 seconds goes by. Yeah, it's probably around 2 seconds. The morale penalty is slowly increasing, just slowly ticking up. But it is really a problem of which side, a problem of which side can have their leadership holding before the other side breaks. Now, if Rapons can dodge around enough of those shots and uphold their leadership, it will be the victory for the Bretonnia. But if the Sky Lanterns break first, the army losses hit first for the Cathay forces, then it will be victory. Yeah. Oh no, it seems that... oh no! Rapon's leadership did not hold up under the firepower from the Sky Junks and Sky Lanterns. So actually, the fact that there are so many Sky Junks and Sky Lantern worked in the favor of the Grand Cathay army, and even after Bretonnian routed off all that Celestial Dragon crossbows and Jade Warrior crossbows, it was still the victorious Cathay forces. Oh boy, that was interesting actually. I did not expect Grand Cathay to pull back. Well, that was interesting. What the heck? So, technically, even after your entire forces is routed in terms of land units and ground forces, you can still win as long as your leadership holds up in the air with those Sky Lanterns and Sky Junks. They just slowly chips away your opponent's health until, well, instead they will hit army losses before you get routed by all those morale penalty. Okay, now let's see who's next. GG to both players here. This is a but yeah, the leadership debuff, Zap, you're right, the leadership debuff actually takes longer to hit than expected. Biggs, man, it's so hard to make a crap build and spend the coin. I agree. That was what everyone was having trouble with. Like, we're just like, oh, these are we're trying to use the chav, but they're so cheap. I can't use all the funds before like getting them all onto the field, hitting the limit. But yeah, it's way harder to make a build than a regular build because you're used to go, oh, this unit is good and we're just gonna take it. But now you have to go, huh, all of these units have their own use. I wonder which of these is gonna be the least impactful. Like, I was tempted to bring a full Nobbler army, but then I remembered that Nobblers are really good for their cost, so I'm like, yep, nope, I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, let me just ask for volunteers. Who's up next? But yeah, like, it seems like Bretonnia would have had that game early, but then, god damn it, they actually clutched it. The Cathay army actually clutched this. Anyways, okay, score 1. Uncle Gant has won the first game, if I remember correctly. Let me just do that. And who's up next? Anyone volunteer? Okay, so let's see. Slate wants to play their opponent. Let me just see who volunteers next. This is gonna be such a trash fire tournament. Okay, so technically the Bretonnian build aren't bad. It's just somehow got shuffled against a build that actually can do decently against it, with all the Celestial Dragon crossbow delaying and shutting down all the cavalry, and then the Sky Junks and Sky Lanterns chipping away their health. Can't cure Repons. Huffington can't cure Repons, I think. No. It seems like Repons was actually chipped away decently with the crane guns. But yeah, Mr. Tafel, those balloons can't even land. But that's exactly why they're good. They can't land, so the Bretonnian cavalry can't catch them either. So, well, they just shoot their way to victory. And then, so the Bretonnian build would actually be the one... No, wait, let me think. Yeah, the... Okay, so let me think. Phoenix King was using the Sky... Yep, Phoenix King was using the Sky Lantern build, so he will be proceeding to the next stage of the battle, and they will be bringing... they will be bringing their Bretonnian build with them, but the problem is now that it seems that Malverde is a bit busy. I'll be waiting to see if other players are up to play next. Oh, actually, let me just see if I can do my match first. Asfandiar. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Okay, seems that they're up to go. I'll have to probably ask Asfandiar to set up their lobby. As I'm a bit busy on the Discord right now, trying to... Okay, yep. Anyways, this is my turn to play now, as I did join the tournament myself. Came up with my own trash build. You'll see what that is soon on the battlefield. But basically, I went for 3 aspiring champions, gold chevron, like fully gold chevron, and 8 hounds, chaos hounds. All of them gold chevron, fully gold chevron as well. On top of that, there was a chaos undivided war shrine, which provides leadership buff, and really that's about it. Plus the aspect of Dread Knight to provide a little bit more that fear and terror to uphold the leadership of those war hounds, because once you have fear and terror, you are immune to fear and terror yourself. So aspect of the Dread Knight, and also there's a regular Chaos Lord on foot, bringing not really much other than stand or die, because the whole idea of the build is we are bringing every single leadership buff available to the Chaos Undivided roster, the pure Undivided roster, no marks of any Chaos Gods. And, well, and then our main fighting force is a bunch of, well, dogs. Just dogs. So, okay, we have this, Tornico, join, let's go. I expect... Oh, Trash Fire Tony. Yep, this is just a dumpster fire, really. So, yep. Our opponent's build. Let me just quickly find their build. It's this. Oh, right. Right. It's the green skin build. Right. Oh no. The green skin build. Oh no. Okay, this is the green skin build I'm gonna be looking at. Let's see, green skins. So it's fun here designed this green skin build against my full Warhound build. Unfortunately, this build is called the 23rd Royal Goblin Artillery, which is, as you can see, a crap ton of artillery. Let's just go do this. I think it's fully gold chevron. Yes, indeed it is. 4 gobbles. Okay, so there are 2 Black Orc Big Balls. Oh shit, I forgot to ask if they're on food or not. Anyways. It seems they are on food indeed. This is bad. All my artillery are gonna get shut down for sure. Anyways, where is the Orc Big Balls? Orc War Boss. Let's go. Only Foe Seeker, it seems. And goblins. I need to use Gold Chevron Gobbles. No. Oh wait, no. No. Wait, what? Did I underspend? Okay, wait. Okay. That is the build. That is the build. Oh no. Okay. So yep, this is the build here. Like full artillery against 8 fucking doggles. How am I supposed to fight this? Oh boy. A bunch of Black Orc Big Boss, and well, we do have a bit of armor piercing to fight through the we do have the armor piercing to maybe shut down the Chaos War Shrine and maybe fight through a bunch of heroes. I don't know, man. The doggles, like those doggles are gonna be unbreakable, I tell you that. They even, like, they have aspect of Dread Knight. They have the encourage from the aspiring champions, fight or stand or die in case they need a little bit more leadership buff. And alright, the Chaos War Shrine and the Chaos War Shrine sorcerer who has aspect of Dread Knight has something that gives them immune to psychology, I think. I don't quite remember. I can kill the War Shrine, but the problem is the aspiring champions. Those are like fully gold chevron aspiring champions. They have the stats. They can fight. I don't know what I can do that, man. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough. But we'll try. We'll try nonetheless. But yeah, 6 artillery units, 4 goblins, and 3 characters. This is gonna be a hard defense. Full Chevron champions are actually kind of good. Yeah, they should be with all that stat line. It's just that whether the stat is worth it for the cause. Yeah, Huffington McNeedy. I've won in QB with builds like that. Yeah, QB, to be fair, it's just a free land where you can just pull off some random bullshit if you run into some newbies. So, but it's still a nice indicator of that. Sometimes even shit builds can work, but I don't even know how am I supposed to make this piece of shit work. But you're gonna die. Oh fucking hell. Okay, let's see if we can just defend these bad boys with gobbles. I'm just giving up on the rock lobbers, honestly. Hopefully we can get some firepower to shut them down. The thing is, I have a feeling that they will just charge at me with the doggles before they even start pushing their infantry and war shrine and whatnot. So I might have to do this and just kill my RT. Maybe. So gold chevron doggles and gold chevron gobbles. Which one's gonna win? I don't even have magic to help me this time, so fun time. Alright, as Fandir, I'm not sure if you're listening, but I am ready if you are. So just start whenever you like. But yeah, let's wait. Seems like they might still be setting up their army. It's really come down to these 3 units to fight their way out. But like, why is the Black Orc Big Boss not armor piercing? Come on, like, come on, give him some armor piercing. Look at that big old axe. They should be armor piercing, right? No, like that axe is so big, it's gonna just crush armor and shit. Anyways, no, shoot. They're behind the tree lines. Oh no. Ah. On the bus. Turn around. Fire. Kill that war shrine. Actually, kill these. We can kill the war shrine with melee, honestly, but we can't. Gobbles. You have to hold. Protect the divers. These are running poison. Alright, let's see if we can save these boys. Nope, they're dying. They're still dying so fucking fast. No. Find them. Kill them. On it. Moving. Yep, they're all dying. Oh, fuck. Doggles are too strong. And once they rout, they would just get cleaned up like fuck. This is bad.
Moving fast. Get going.
Okay, we're kind of repelling some of them, but most of the artillery are still compromised. Black Orc Big Boss, we need your help. Okay, back online now. Let's go. Keep shooting.
Running. Attack! Let's go!
Okay, the war shrine is kind of tied down right now, but oh fuck, there's so many dogs. Oh! Fucking hell. Wah! Let's go! We need that wah now.
We do it.
Can we get these back? No, probably not. Oh, they actually had that.
Where's Gobbout?
There's too many dogs. I can't fight them all.
I'm the meanest, biggest, brutalest dog.
Alright, I need these guys to like stick together, man.
Try.
Where is Gobbout? Come on, lads.
Keep pushing forward.
Moving.
War boss.
No.
Cool,
Come.
Easy, yeah?
They're barely holding. Right, no, honestly, I don't think they're even holding.
This stinks. Moving fast. Running.
Not enough. Okay, we're cutting off some of. Oh, the aspiring champions are too strong. No, I'm from home demise. No.
Stickers ready. Moving fast.
I swear, this is like some like random AI build with so much artillery in the campaign.
Running.
You only really see that in the campaign. Yeah. We don't have enough armor piercing and stats to like kill those aspiring champions. How much defense do you have these days? Like I don't remember. Okay. Oh yeah, they have a lot of stats. And I don't have enough units. I can kill the dogs, but I can't kill the aspiring champions. They're too strong. No. Just look at them not dying at all. 56 melee defense, 50 attack. Like what? How much HP is that? Like 7k HP, 8k. Wow! Let's Y again and see what happens. It's not like it's gonna do anything to the heavy armor on the aspiring champions. Like Orc War boss is already gone. The doggos are overwhelming my precision. And army losses is hit. The artillery. Artillery, man. Artillery. Ugh. It's a little bit of hit or miss when it comes to artillery. Let's see, man. But yeah. Here, and that's my game for the Trash Fire tournament. GG. GG to my opponent here, and a good build. I'm sorry. Liminal Boundary was saying in the Discord chat, like, I don't want to use that greenskin build. Someone please win with it. I'm sorry, man. I can't. This is impossible. It's not impossible to win, but they just need to face the right army. And against a full army of doggos like this is not the right army to pick, honestly. Let's see. But yeah, GG's Asfandir. And he will be proceeding into the next round. Let me just report my scores and shit. Is the internet working now? Okay. It's working. Okay. These builds are wonderfully awful. Yep, indeed they are wonderfully awful. Such trash. You see why I put that dumpster fire meme on the thumbnail now? Oops. But yeah. I'll put the Goblobbers right behind the Doom Divers to screw up the Warhound pathing on Kogan. That might be a good idea, but I don't know. Like, the Goblobbers just dies in a few seconds, and I don't know if that's enough to like keep the Doom Divers alive. But yeah, the doggos are too aggressive. I can't do anything. Even with Goat Chevron artillery. But yes, late X. Okay, see. Let's see, the next one should be Malvady and Slate Eggs. And let's see if they are free to go right now. Okay, cool. It seems that they're up. So I'll just need to find their... Not this one. This one's the one I came out from. Yeah. Start date. Okay, next up, Slade X and Malvadier. So Malvadier made this build right here. You can see here, this is called the Slaanesh box. As you can see here, all the defensive infantry. Coops, if you're watching, here somebody made a similar build as your design. So basically no armor piercing at all on these defensive units. Well, the Keeper of Secrets do have the armor piercing, but it will have to carry the entire game. And Prince Sigvald the Magnificent right here, with all abilities, items, but no healing. Just all the abilities and items, but no healing. This might be a challenge for the High Elves, which is designed by Slay X right now, because look at all these Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, War Lions of Trays. None of them are good at fighting through hordes of infantry. Now, War Lions are anti-infantry, yes, but they are quite glass cannony, and they do not have the most armor, so unfortunately the Chosen of Slaanesh and Chaos Warriors, all with gold chevrons, will be shredding through these War Lions if they can't extract themselves from combat quickly. And then don't forget, there's a bunch of light armored archers, gold chevron as well. Quite a waste of funds, because you always want to go for the regular archers instead, because the tiny bit of armor provided by the light armor archers, honestly, not worth it. And then there's the triple mages. This build is called Elves Are Poor Man's Orc, because, well, when you think about it, it's basically just a similar build of the fucking Goblin artillery army without the WA ability as well. I mean, I have no idea the reasoning behind the naming, but well, that's the naming they gave for the High Elf army. And oh boy. Anyways, the highlight of this build is the triple mages. Yeah, triple mages. You can see all kinds of magical entities, but the problem is they have the magic regen items: Starwolf Staff, Book of Hoev, Wild Heart, providing all that Winds of Magic recharge, and same goes for the other abilities and as well. But none of them have a single spell. Yes, that's right. This is a magic build with no magic. Triple caster hero, not a single spell. You have all the magic in the world, but nothing to use it on. So how will Shredder Malvadier? Yeah, how will Malvadier play this battle? Let's see. Now, for the Slaanesh side, it's still like not too bad, as in they do have a Keeper of Secrets as kind of a damage dealer army, like damage dealer component, and on top of that, Sigvald is just magnificently good. And of course, the Keeper of Secrets do have that Lash of Slaanesh, a bunch of abilities to help out, and the War Lions will get shredded by the Hell Scourge Chaos Warriors, even without any armor piercing, because, well, War Lions don't have much armor to begin with. 35, like, that's basically nothing. So yeah, it seems that on paper, the Slaanesh army do have the advantage in this engagement. Now so Slate X might have just won by design, but we will see. We will see. Remember, both armies are, like in this battle, in the entire tournament, the players' armies are designed by their opponents. So Slate X designed this High Elf build, and Malvadier designed the Slaanesh build. So let us see. Both players, if you're listening to the stream, please start if you are ready. And yeah, we will just wait and see. Is the no magic build gonna actually clutch this battle with all the artillery advantage, or will the Slaanesh just steamroll the entire artillery position of the High Elves? And as you can see here, there really is nothing much else for the Slaanesh army to do other than push. So straight towards the other side of the battlefield with a strong rush. Artillery are firing, but focusing fire down Sigvald, because they do lack the components to shut down Sigvald and all these single entities. The Keeper of Secrets, with that high speed, they will be quickly dodging away shots. Still, did they got hit? Didn't got hit. yeah, it didn't got hit. It probably hit a tree or something. Well, Sigvald is being focused down. Lions rushing one side. Being caught by the Slaanesh Keeper of Secrets. That's not a good call right there. They need to back up a bit as they are quite vulnerable to all these. Like, they can't really punch through the melee defense of all these chosen Chaos Warriors. And they are easily shredded either as well. So what they are doing now is just really trying to delay the advance of the Slaanesh army, and so that other units like the archers and the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers can have the opportunity to shoot down any units. Now the Keeper of Secrets is taking some minor damage from the artillery firepower, but then with the support of Chosens and like regular Slaanesh warriors, they might just be able to quickly repel all these lions. Oh boy, that lash just killed my frame rate there. What else? Okay, Chaos Warriors now being shot up by the light armored archers. They do have that Ghost Chevron, so their reload speed is increased by a vast amount. Triple mages are now plunging into combat, trying to catch this Slaanesh Keeper of Secrets, but one of them already getting shredded by the Daemon, the Greater Daemon, and the rest of the artillery, a lot of them are. One of them is being compromised. War Lions charging and hoping to slow down the push of the Chaos Warriors, but the balance of power is slowly edging towards the favor of the Slaanesh of the High Elf army, because they do have the artillery just really thinning out the numbers of the Chaos army, and the Keepers of Secrets holding out really well. Yes, there are 3 characters fighting them, but unfortunately all of them are mages without a single combat ability. All of them are just magic batteries, and yeah, they are getting shredded and not doing much damage in return, especially with the Chaos Warriors now coming in for support. One of them bolt throwers is compromised. The other few, being so spread out, are just showering all of these Chaos Warriors with their scatter shots, really trying to thin out their numbers before they can reach more Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Some of the light armor archers now, the Gold Chevron status does help them hold, and they will be delaying all these advance of Chosen, allowing the Bolt Throwers who are at the far back slowly chipping away the health of all these Chaos Warriors and Chosen. While over here, with the support from the Chaos Warriors, all these High Elf leadership are being beaten back. The Keeper of Secrets barely taken any damage from all these High Elf leadership. As you can see here, 83 damage value from the Archmage of Beasts. The Mage, 88. Neither of them are good. And then the Chaos Warriors and the Chosen are just pushing for the artillery positions. Now, another Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers is shut down. These ones are still firing, but they're not going to fire for any longer, as the Chosen are now closing in. Keeper of Secrets are still fighting. Prince Sigvald is still fighting. There's really nothing the High Elves can really shut him down at the moment, with all these Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers being like pushed away. The better option is just probably to drop the artillery crew, like have the artillery crew drop it and just keep running, and hopefully will delay the Chosen long enough and something. But unfortunately they haven't done that, so they are gonna get shut down and chased off to into the horizon. Now over here, things are going a little bit better for the High Elves. A really nice cycle charging maneuver again and again from all these War Lions. Charging in, disrupting their push, and then pulling back out, allowing the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower to have a little bit more time to shut down these Chaos Warriors. As you can see here, they're extremely tattered, while this Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower crew already accruing over 1,700 value. That's over double of the regular cost of the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Of course, they are like gold chevron, so they must be more expensive right now, but still really nice value over there. And there are still some archers shooting at the back. Not that they're gonna do a lot of good against all these single entities, but there might still a glimpse of hope for the High Elves to pull this back. Nonetheless, they still need to go through these Chaos Warriors first, and then Sigvald is a major problem. A bunch of War Lions of Trace charging in, hoping to do some damage, but they're quickly pulling out because Sigvald do have a lot of buff on him right now. Slippery, a very staple ability for Slaanesh when you think about it. And then all these Mortal Blow, Sliver Slash, these Warlines simply cannot hold in front of them. And then the Eagle Claw Bolters is quickly being compromised soon with the push of all these Chaos Warriors. Warlines, they are trying their best to cycle charge, but they cannot stick in melee for too long. Now there are some Tattered Chosen pushing for the Eagle Claw Bolter crew, and the Warlines really should be helping to fight them off, but unfortunately with the push of Chaos Warriors, the Warlines have no choice but to back off, as they don't want to tangle into melee by all these Chaos Warriors. Prince Sigvold still running around. Another strike is landed into the Warlines, killing a bunch of models, and then at the back, Keepers of Secrets and also the Chosen of Slaanesh successfully pushed off all these archers with light armor, and at the back, the Eagle Claw Bolter crew is being finished off by the Hellscourge infantry as well. So no armor piercing at all, but after all, they don't need it for this kind of high elf build. So all the Warlines trying to cycle charge, but once they charge in, they will just be taking damage, and then Sigvold will be hitting them back. And of course, on top of that, there might be army abilities of Slaanesh dropping in, slowing them down, or just pinning them, or whatever. So at this point, one of the Warlions is slowly approaching routing territory in terms of leadership, and then Balance of Power also saying they are soon to be broken in this kind of unfavorable situation. So Chosen charging in against Warlands, they will hold with their superior melee defense, 61 after all, with all those chevrons buffing it. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for the Elven armies and whatnot. Unfortunately. Wait, don't they already have 61? Oh, these are Chaos Warriors, regular ones. They don't have that much melee defense in general. But yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Wait, where are the Chosen? Oh, yep, there you go. Anyways. So yeah, as you can see here, the Keeper of Secrets just shredded all three mages, and the mages without a single spell cannot do shit. Like, they have a lot of magic regeneration items and whatnot, but, well, what can you do, right? Without a single spell. And then Prince Sigvold, he's just a stupid tank, so yeah, he will be winning victorious in this matchup. And unfortunately for the build itself, once their designer lost, the build itself will also be taken out of the tournament. So Slade X, with the victorious with the defeat of the High Elf army, they will be bringing the High Elf army into the next round, while unfortunately Malvadir and the non-armor piercing Slaanesh army will be eliminated from this tournament. Anyways, let's see who's next up for the fight. Okay. All right, let's see. It seems like the next one we're watching is Mr. Tufel, Uncle Gant. Let's see where. Okay, Tufel is here. 1, 2, 3. Now let's catch up with the chat. Coops. I'm glad whip chosen with gold chevrons are still getting used with. Yeah. So fun fact, Coops was the one designing the whole gold chevron whip chosen at the beginning, but then they dropped out. And coincidentally, Malvadir also brought in the golden chosen Hellscourge build. So that was a nice coincidence, to be fair. The Phoenix King, the terrible Coops, the melee defense on those chosen is actually really good. Yes, they are. It's just that they suck at damaging, but they can be a nice anvil for the Slaanesh cavalry to hammer home. Phoenix King, the terrible HE build will live another day. Indeed it will. Indeed it will. Let's see if it can just win all the way into the tournament. Oh boy. Oh, the Chosen have 77 melee defense. God damn. Uncle Gant. Oh, Uncle Gant, the Slate's build is probably the weakest in the tournament. Maybe. We'll see. Now, for the army build, we saw Uncle Gant's build earlier. The Mr. Now played by Mr. Tufel, the triple Gold Chevron, Haxraves, and Foul Bats. But now we have a stupid build from for the Skavens, designed by Mr. Tufel here. A Kick Claw on foot. Oh, no abilities at all. Wait, what? Wait, what? I swear they had abilities. Wait, give me a second. Might have to check. But either ways, that shouldn't be a major problem. Anyways, a whole bunch of Skaven slaves and clan rats, as you can see here. It's called Scurry Away, because the entire point of this build is that they have a bunch of shitty chaff for the entire Skaven army, and as soon as they go into combat, they probably will get routed. We'll see whether that's true or not, but here's basically the entire idea. Yeah, just basically send in those clan rats and gold chevron stuff. Nice leadership after all, but still crap. And yeah, they'll probably just die, honestly. Other than that, we have some Ashen Saucer with full kits. Now, they might actually be the key to win for this Skaven build here, as a Kick and also a Kick Claw do have quite a few magic damage abilities. Cleansing Ruin, Crack's Call. They do not have Brass Orb, but Howling Warp Gale is here as well, so they actually have all the tools they need to win this fight, because there are only 3 fucking Hexraves the entire game, so how are they supposed to win, right? Oh shit, the high elf build will actually lose to this Hexrave build as well. Interesting, but yeah, we'll see. The Hexraves magic resistance will be nothing against all the Ashen spells. They have the Black Wire Wind, which can do some nice magic damage, not a lot, but still decent. And then there's the Brittle Bone to catch them, going for that slow effect, as well as Warp Stars that kills models. So actually, this is a viable build in this tournament, let's put it that way. They have all the damage dealing tools they need, and they have all the chaff to stack up enemy cavalry units and whatnot. The only problem is that they might get killed by a gunning attempt from the vampire trio in the skies. So that, like, if they get killed early, then the spells will not be able to like dish out damage they need. Excuse me if you hear some noise, somebody's yelling outside the house or something. Anyways. Now, as you can see here, there's already the ninjas start chipping away the health of all these Hexrave units, and then let's see. Yep, the vampire counts are quickly going for a gunning attempt on a Kick Claw. A Kick Claw does have some armor-piercing attacks and anti-large, so maybe he can do something about it. And then the Ashen Soldier is not exactly slouch in combat either, but a Kick Claw really being shut down right now, and the Hexraves are charging, running over a bunch of Skavens, but they do have a less physical resistance now, so they won't be hanging on as long. Like, they will take some minor damage as they charge in. A Kick Claw is unlimited power! Now trying to like squeeze out some more magic and maybe blast away at these poor Hexraves and whatnot. And the Skaven, the horde of Skaven is just forming a death box around the characters, hoping to bog down all these vampire units. As you can see here, Manfred being hit by the Weeping Blade from the Ashen Sorcerers. Oh, actually no! The Ashen Triads are actually being dragged down quite effectively. Oh no, this is bad for them. And this is bad for the vampire count. Especially Ashen Triads, they do have that stalking ability, so they cannot be spotted when they're outside enemy spotting range. Do you call it like that? But anyways, the anti-large armor piercing are just quickly slicing and dicing Manfred from Karstein, despite the hunger is active. All these Skaven chaff are just blocking the Hexraves from getting into the middle of melee combat, and yeah. Mr. Tufel is having trouble in breaking through those Skaven defenses, and the heroes are quickly being shut down. At the far side, Hexraves are being shut down, slowly chipped away by the Ashen Sorcerers like Ninja Stars. A Kick Claw is taking minimal damage. Oh, am I sure? Yep, there's an ice cream truck outside my house, actually. Interesting. Anyways, back to the fight here. Primary spears are constantly being damaged and routed cycle charged by a bunch of hex wraiths, so pretty decent micro from Mr. Tufel, but unfortunately these Ashen Triads are too nasty to deal with for the Vampire Trio. Now they don't have a lot of armor after all, they are Ashen units, but the thing is that they do have really good armor pierce, like they do have a really cost-effective armor piercing capabilities for an anti-lock unit. So personally, I really like using them. Especially you can surprise your opponent in certain situations. Like honestly, like the tankiness of the Storm Vermins are a little bit overrated. Oh boy, did I just miss the explosion over here? That's just a huge chunk of HP gone from the Hex Wraiths, and the other Hex Wraith units is also taking some decent damage from all these Skaven counter-attacks. They don't have any armor, so yeah, and especially with their less physical, with their reduced physical resistance these days, they are not exactly having a good time. They're constantly cycle charging, but they're not exactly getting the kills they need. Also, their armor piercing is largely wasted on the Skaven slaves, who only have like 25 armor. Like that's like nothing. The only real armored unit here is a Kickclaw, who is just wrapped in a bunch of gear and whatnot. But other than that, yeah, they are not exactly effective. Now this build might be good against other armies, say, like might be good to die against other armies, say, I don't know, the Slaanesh build. But this time it seems that, yeah, the Skavens are winning, as the numbers they have are just way too much and dragging down all these Hex Wraiths. While the magic and the anti-large armor piercing, all that stuff, it's just cutting down all these vampire characters. And then let's see the Kickclaw with his magic stab and the close range flamethrower. There's a bit of lag here, unfortunately. Let's see. And yeah, army losses is hit for the vampire counts as all. Oh, actually no, the Hex Wraiths are still there. It's just that Mr. Tufel decided to surrender. To be fair, I can see why, with all three characters being shut down by the Ashen Triads and character trio of the Skaven army instead. Yep, so that's unfortunate for the for Mr. Tufel's Skaven army. They ran into the build they don't really want to win against. But yeah, GG to both players here, and that will be another round done. So let's see who's next. It's like the Skaven army actually makes sense for this tournament. Like, it is a very weak army. It will be losing to a bunch of terror and stuff, but it's just that there's just too many numbers for the Hex Wraiths to deal with, and they simply can't cut through all those Skaven chaff without taking damage themselves due to their lack of armor and their reduced physical resistance. And then there's the Ashen Triads just shredded Manfred von Karstein. Oh boy. Now, one thing about the trio vampire build is that Uncle Gan was joking about how they can beat down Manfred's multiple times in the tournament, and I think he's doing it right now. They are doing it. The Manfred von Karstein is just like the whole ethereal build is just getting beaten hard. Anyways, next up, let's see who's next. Liminal Boundary versus the Phoenix King. So, as we've seen before, the Phoenix King was designing a Bretonnian build, and Liminal Boundary this time will be using a quite interesting army. We'll find his. Okay, we find it. Let's see. you'll see what I mean when we go into combat. Now, Liminal Boundary is on the same Bretonnian build we've seen before. Response and Friends makes you get good, but the Phoenix King this time using the Vampire Coast army, and I'm pretty sure you know what you can expect in the build, and that is, Phoenix King, you need to load up that army. That's gonna be hilarious. While we wait for Bretonnia to set it up, let us just catch up with the whole chat right now. Manfred was in melee the whole time and 27 gold value only? What the fuck? That sucks. Maybe just a kick claw being knocked over and all that Skaven chaff blocking the way. And then he just tries to pull through and attack. I think it's possibly that he was trying to pull through and attack a kick claw, but just that he couldn't and got stuck on a bunch of Skaven units taking damage while it was trying to force its path forward. So he was not engaging in combat, he was not trying to attack, he was just spending all his time pushing through units. That's why he has low damage. Oh, 42 gold. Anyways. Imagine that Skaven build versus the Slaanesh build. That would have been glorious, honestly. Like, it's just gonna be chaff fighting against superior defense, and who knows who's gonna win. And yeah, this Vampire Ghost build is what I'm talking about. Pentabloaty boys. The Golden Pentabloat Special. Basically, 5 golden chevron. Yeah, golden chevron bloated corpses. Absolutely trash because you're just gonna throw away those melee stats in explosions. And then the pokey part of the build, triple gold chevron. Deckhand mobs with pole arms, which is not half bad, honestly. They are really cost efficient for what they do. Armor piercing, anti-large, they're actually pretty decent, especially when you think about this build with all those cavalry. Oh boy. Now the problem is, can Phoenix King use those Vampire Coast units, the mobility, all those like silver chevron dogs, scurvy dogs, and bats to catch the mounted yeomen and then blow them up with the mounted corpse? Now that's a problem that we'll have to wait and see, as the Bretonnian army really wants to like trigger explosions for those bloaty boys as early as possible and avoid their expensive Grail Knights, Grail Guardians being hit by the explosions. But this is gonna be finicky, and I'm sure Phoenix King will try his best to protect them until he really needs to blow them up. Other than that, there's also Silostra. I don't think there's any spells on her. I don't really remember, so we'll see. And yeah, that's basically it for both army builds. We've seen the Bretonnian build earlier, so I'm not going to talk about it too much other than Gold Chevron Mounted Yeoman, Gold Chevron Mounted Yeoman Archers. Both of them has like 4 units. And 2 Grail Knights and 1 Grail Guardian Response on a horse, as with like her abilities. Banner of Fleur de Lis, as well as the Sword of Carreau. Oh no, that's not the Sword of Lyonnaise. Interesting, there's no explosion. They don't have the halo of the Maidenly Wrath, so I guess that does take away the blinding effect to debuff enemy units though, so that might be quite a bit of a loss for the Bretonnian build, which is exactly in the favor of Phoenix King, who designed it after all. And then there's the Damsel with a Manticore summon. Now, excuse me for a sec, I just have to hydrate myself with all that talking. But yeah, the Manticore summon might actually be... Oh, if that Manticore summon can be like... Yeah, if there's a Manticore summon can be like activated and dropped onto the bloated corpse, that might cause a big trouble for the Vampire Coast army, especially if the bloated corpse blow up in their own formations. But of course, there's still gonna be like all these gold chevron pointy sticks to cut through for the cavalry, and that's not gonna be easy for the Bretonnians. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the army builds. Slow push for the Vampire Coast. After all, like, they are zombies and they are not fast, other than the Ethereal cat lady here. Salastra Direfin with Spiteful Shot. Oh right, I forgot. They actually took the Spiteful Shot and also and the Arcane Conduit, but interesting. So basically, Kiss of the Deep does have this passive here. Triggers whenever spell is cast, and it can drain away the health of enemy units for a few seconds. Not a lot, but if you just constantly activate it to buff random units, maybe it can be useful. But anyways, this doesn't seem to be a good start for the Vampire Coast, as the Flock of Doom is dropped onto the Fellbats here, draining their health, weakening their anti-yeoman abilities. Anyways, the Mounted Yeoman here probably a lapse in micro, being caught by a whole bunch of Scurvy Dogs. Now even the Fellbats are moving in to shut down those Mounted Yeoman firepower. An explosion was triggered with Rapun's charging in, activating some of those bloated corpses. Shield tries to push ahead, but there is Silustra and also all these Scurvy Dogs surrounding her. Without healing, all this damage would not be mitigated, and without the Halo of Maidenly Wrath, she cannot break herself out of this blob easily. There's a bunch of Scurvy Dogs trying to catch the Grail Guardians, which can be good for the Vampire Coast because the bloated corpse is quickly pushing ahead. Rapun's trying her best to catch up, might actually succeed. Oh no, but the Scurvy Dogs dragged her down. But if she actually was able to catch up with the Bloaty Boy in the middle of all these halberds are going to be gone. But now the Bloaty Boy is pushing up ahead. But where are you going? Get in here! Get in here! Kill these Grail Guardians. No, it's going for the Mounted Human Archers, and it explodes. This unit is gone. Definitely a mistake on Liminal Boundaries. Micro there, being caught by that Bloaty Boy. But now Rapunzel is going for a second one. Now it's gone. This time she's gonna catch it. Blows up, takes some damage, and gets out. Now the damage is still quite intense after all. Oh wait, no. And she is now quickly moving back. I think we only saw one Bloaty Boy, and like 2 was activated by Rapunzel, and 1 is explode into a bunch of Mounted Yeoman Archers. But they need to get into the Grail Knight instead, other than, oh wait, no, but right, maybe the line of thought for Phoenix King is that they want to blow up the Archers so that the Archers cannot continue shooting at the lightly armored zombie pirate deckhand mobs, while the deckhand mobs can actually drag. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no, we missed the explosion in Grail Guardians. That was a mistake on me. We need to go back into replay later. But yeah, anyways, Grail Guardians got hit by explosion, massive destruction, and a bunch of zombie pirate deckhand mobs are just sort of dragging their way through all these Grail Knights. Not doing a bad job, honestly, considering they're fighting against some of the most elite melee cavalry in the entire Bretonnian roster. Silustra Direfin fighting against Rapunzel, her physical resistance would be quite useful against the melee attack of Rapunzel. Though Rapunzel does have that anti-infantry bonus, so Silustra is taking some damage. The problem is that there's still one really healthy Grail Knight right here that cannot be easily shut down. Oh, and with the Bloaty Boys gone, all these deckhand mobs as well being surrounded by the superior cavalry, well, they actually got shut down. I mean, we saw some Bloaty explosion. We might have to go back into the replay first. Bloaty. We need to watch that explosion and those Grail Guardians once more. But unfortunately for Phoenix King, those Bloaty Boys just didn't do enough damage with such a healthy level of HP for all these Grail Guardians, Grail Knights, and Mounted Human Archers, and all the heavy losses on the Scurvy Dogs and whatnot. The balance of power of the Vampire Coast was not quite enough to uphold, and then army losses was triggered. There was a good job in hunting down some of these Mounted Yeomans and whatnot, but then with the charges from other golden Mounted Yeomans and Grail Knights, it's just too much. Anyways, it seems that Liminal Boundary will be going forward to the next round. Now, before we move on to the next round, I need to watch that Grail Guardian Bloaty explosion. So bear with me for a second, because unfortunately we missed it as the UI covered that explosion. We'll just quickly fast forward after all. Give me a second. if you would. But anyways, that was a good game on both sides, to be fair. Liminal Boundary in the Discord was like, that Coast Army is so bad you can only cry salty tears of uselessness. You know what's the next salty tear of use? You know, you probably can use Salt Spite for that, actually. Make it a meme. But is Silastra bad? Which one's worse? Silastra with no spell or Aranessa with no abilities? I do wonder. But yeah, the explosions in here blow up some of the Haradekan mobs, causing some immense destruction, and then the bats and dogs are just dragged down by mounted yeoman, counter charges, and Grail Knight. So unfortunately, not exactly a good engagement. And whoa, wait, here's the explosion in Grail Guardians. Ripped away half the unit, but that's basically it. Another explosion comes in, mounted yeoman got blown up. Another explosion here. There's one more bloaty boy in the middle. Okay, so here comes the bloaty boy. Oh, so we missed out another explosion halfway. Okay, we need to be more. And boom. Okay, Grail Guardians. 2 explosions to take them down. Not too bad overall, but that also puts the balance of power really against the favor of the Vampire Coast, because all the mobility is being hunted down. All the explosions from the bloaty boy means that all that value sank into are just basically self-destructive. So unfortunately, not the greatest engagement for the Vampire Coast. Anyways, that means Liminal Boundary, who designed this Golden Pentabloat special, manages to get into the next round, and we'll see. Let's see who's gonna play next. We'll be in the semifinals now with Liminal Boundary versus Slate Eggs, Uncle Gant versus Esfandiar. Sorry if I butchered your pronunciation, but yeah, anyways. So let's see. Esfandiar, Uncle Gant, Liminal Boundary, and Slate. Any of you ready? Okay, so let's see who's free to play right now as we wait for the participants to join in. Slate X seems to be ready, and Uncle Gant is typing in reply. Slate X opponent is Liminal Boundary, who plays. Okay, so it's gonna be the high elf artillery build versus the high elf no magic build. No spell magic build. Yep, no spell, but a ton of mana build. And Liminal Boundaries Pentabloat. Slate X elves are poor man orcs build. But yeah, free to make making the high elf build. Okay, so let's say we have. Okay, let's have Uncle Gant and Esfandiar goes first, since we did saw the Pentabloat a while back. Yeah, we did see the Pentabloat already, so let's just intersperse something in between before we go in. Anyways, let's see where are their lobbies. That's Liminal Boundary. Yep, this is the. It seems the spectate slot isn't open yet, so we'll wait a bit. Mr. Safal, the bloaty build will kill Slaanesh one really bad. Yep, indeed. Unless they activate the they trigger those explosions with the Keeper of Secrets. Now that's gonna basically like render all of those bloaty boys useless. Especially like this, the Vampire Coast build doesn't have anything to stop the Greater Demon. So I don't know. Like if they can get the bloaty boys in, sure, but it's gonna be hard. Now, are we gonna have like an artillery fight in the end though? That's the real question. But it seems that okay, triple Hexgrave versus the Slaanesh is weak build with a whole bunch of vampires with shadows, Manfred like without any good abilities and whatnot. And then Uncle Gant will be using Asfundius design, the Doom Diver Catapults, the 23rd Goblin Royal, the 23rd Royal Goblin Regiment, Royal Artillery. Yep, the 23rd Royal Goblin Artillery. Yep, that is that. With a shit ton of gold chevron artillery, a bunch of Doom Divers, rock lobbers. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Goblins, at least there are some goblin frontline, but they might just get run over by a bunch of Hexgraves. Now let's go into combat now. There's not really much to see. Now, the real question is, can Manfred hold up in battle, or will he be beaten up by a triple orc war boss? Orc boss. There's only one war boss and 2 big bosses, so triple orc bosses. Okay. Mr. Trevor, more bloaty boy action coming soon. Good. Yep, we're gonna see more bloaties. Yeah, but other than that, now let's go into the battle in here. Seems like both players are ready and loaded. Now, one thing the Vampire Counts can do is probably just Vanguard deploy and try to rush these artillery as soon as possible. And Goblins can't really do much against the against these Hexgraves. Oh boy, as you can see here, the artillery are deploying. And some of these artillery, okay, it's really spread out. They're really going for that spread out attempt to delay enemy advance, and with only 5 ranged units. So this might actually be good enough to maybe shut down some of those artillery. Like, I can't do this against the doggle build because, well, there are 8 doggles and only 5 pieces of artillery. They're just gonna get picked apart. I need to go tight. But with only so many vampire units, they actually can spread out this time, afford that. So each time the Vampire Counts can only deal with, 1 unit can deal with 1 artillery each time, and then at least there will be 1 unit free to fire. And if they are lucky, they can basically focus down 1 unit and eliminate, like, thin out some of that mobility pressure before they get into the artillery, and then deal with less artillery threats in the later stages of the game. Now really it's just whether the war boss can fight through all these vampire units, because there's no magic attacks in this unit whatsoever. They have to rely on their brute forcing attacks to punch down those Hexgraves. And at the same time there will be the triple Hellsteed vampire characters, and they will be fighting these food characters, but I don't know. This might be a bit rough for the greenskins. Like, the Vampire Counts absolutely have the tools to shut down all these artillery. So it really is a matter of whether they can shut them down fast enough. You can see that the Hexgraves are already taking some noticeable damage from some of these divers. they're focusing down for sure, especially with their slight tracking. And with the reduced physical resistance, yep, taking massive damage from every explosion of gobbles. You can see that every shot basically takes down one ammo. No, maybe not one model. But yep, if it's smacked in the face of the Hex Raves, then they'll just take down one model. But if they're landing close, then maybe they'll just do significant damage, but not enough to kill a model. Anyways, rock lobbers are now being overwhelmed by Hex Raves. Bats are rushing in as well. At the back, there are some bats trying to cut down the rock lobbers, but goblins are nearby to screen out and support. At the back, there are these Hex Raves circling around, but there are multiple goblins ready to defend. Of course, some of these Doom Divers and Goblobbers are compromised and even routed, but thanks to the terror of the Hex Raves and the fear from the Fellbats. But the Fellbats, interesting. The Doom Diver catapults are holding fairly well against all these Fellbats, while this, of course, Hex Raves are still very powerful, so they just kind of overwhelm and quickly terrify the Doom Diver catapult, leaving these Doom Divers rather exposed as the micro of Uncle Gant is focused on this flank here, pushing away some of these Hex Raves. Thankfully, at least one Doom Diver is still online, but these guys are probably going down soon with Fellbat and the triple vampire characters trying to shut them down. At the back, the Goblin Rock Lobbers regroup, but there are some Hex Raves quickly heading their way. Basically it comes down to this one single unit of Doom Diver catapult, whether it can like carry this game by shooting away a whole bunch of these Hex Raves. It is taking down some models of the Hex Raves, don't get me wrong, but the Hex Raves is also maneuvering quickly into the gaps on the Goblins' formations. Fellbats are pushing in, trying to tie down the Hex Raves, and there's not enough melee units to defend against all these Hex Raves. Maybe, just maybe, the Orc boss and Orc big bosses, the Black Orc big bosses can hold, but this is a bit tight. Now, Goblins here, after doing some minor damage to the Fellbats, they are retreating, hoping to form a box around this Doom Diver catapult for a last stand. But this might be a bit rough, as the Doom Divers are now shut down by the Fellbats, and more Hex Raves are just rushing straight in, plowing through all the gobbles right here. Maybe finally, the Hex Raves are about to win this game. Let's see. Fellbats, their leadership is dropping, but they are not routing for sure. Hex Raves taking some damage from the Goblins, thanks to the buffed up stats, but they are not holding for long due to their shitty leadership. After all, it is one of the worst leadership units in the game. Fellbats now being surrounded by a charge from the Goblins. They probably will go down soon with the help of the Orc War boss, but there's just so much Hex Rave to cut through. Oh boy. And they don't have the numbers for it. The only hope was that the Doom Divers can do enough damage, but obviously it's not doing enough. Hex Raves taking some minor damage from the Gobbles, 27 attack pitiful stats on these calf, and they will be quickly extracting themselves, circling around, find a gap in their formation, charge again, and shut down the Doom Divers once and for all, as the characters are quite busy dealing with the Vampire Trio. Of course, the Vampire Trio are not exactly the greatest melee combatants, while the Orc War boss and the double Orc big bosses are definitely good melee characters, and they will be hacking apart some of these vampire units. But with the Hex Raves surrounding them, this might be a bit rough for the Orcs to hold up in battle. Now, the Doom Diver catapult finally is buckling with the artillery crew knocked off from the artillery models. They are wavering for now, and soon will probably be terrified by the terror from the Hex Raves. As you can see here, that's exactly what they're doing. Actually, they are just normal routing, which is even worse because that really limits their. Well, which is even worse, as in they only have twice to regroup, but it's not like they're gonna regroup anyways, to be honest here. Like, only 9 models left for their artillery crew and 290 HP. Yeah, they can't. Even if they came back, they won't be able to operate enough of the models, artillery models on the unit to make a difference. Anyways, that leaves only the character trio, the orc bosses trio, and the combat surrounded by armor-piercing hex raves. Their only reliance on defense is really their heavy armor, and that's not going to be... yeah, that's going to be nothing in front of the hex raves AP. Like 100% pure AP. Combined with the vampire characters just hitting them here and there. Yep, they are not going to hold for long. Wait, what? I did not realize the rock lobbers are back online again and now just lobbing shots into the hex rate blob. And this might actually, okay, this might actually be the only chance for the greenskins to get back in the game here, as the hex raves are just taking damage throughout. Now, I did thought this might be game for the battle, but it seems that Esfandir is not aware of the regrouped Goblin Rock Lobber right on the far side, and it's just lobbing around the character trying to kill them all. The only reason why I realized the Rock Lobber is back is because I heard like rock shots landing around this area. But well, it seems that army losses is slowly kicking in. Rock Lobbers isn't enough to make the difference here, and the UI is just completely like covering up this engagement here. Excuse me for the lag. Oh, why is it shaking? I need to turn off camera shaking. Anyways, army losses is hit, and that's it for the orc army. So it seems that Uncle Gant, who designed this Vampire Count army, will be eliminated from the battle, and Esfandir will be proceeding into the finals with this 23rd Royal Gobble Artillery. Yep. I hope I didn't butcher that pronunciation there. Yeah. Anyways, yep. So let's see, what are the value? Hex Rave's doing some decent damage, not a lot per se, but the Felbast though, just ripping through those artillery and just earning back way more than they're worth. Now, vampires, as you can see here, their lack of AP makes them really bad combatant against the heavily armored big bosses and whatnot. But the big bosses, distracted by the physically resistant hex raves, aren't really doing that much damage either. So in the end, the artillery gets shut down early by all those mobility, and then it's just really just surrounding and sniping out the orc war bosses and orc big bosses, and that's basically it for the green skins. Now, let's see. Who's next? Okay, next up it's gonna be Liminal Boundary and Slade X, which are both quite infamous, notoriously bad builds in this tournament. Okay, it's gonna be Liminal Boundary and Slade X, which I believe they have a lobby set up somewhere. Spectate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're back, and Liminal Boundary using High Elves. The High Elves are poor man's orcs, basically going wild with all these War Lions, artillery, and double archers. Vampire Code. Pentabloaty board. This might be a bit rough for the Pentabloat because of all the artillery, but we are on peak pass, so there is a bit of vegetation, so maybe they can use that as a kind of cover. But unfortunately, though, they might still need to march through the battlefield to reach the infantry and whatnot, so it's gonna be a bit finicky. But anyways, this is not gonna be as glorious as the bloaty action as before, since, well, Yeah, since unfortunately the high elves did not have a lot of stuff to blow up. The best thing that they can do is probably just kill the just basically kill the scurvy dogs and whatnot, but yeah. But the scurvy dogs, the scurvy dogs and the fellbats might just be countered by the war lions. We'll see. And of course we have all the resource sank into equipping these mages with all kinds of magic regen abilities and items, just that they are not going to be useful at all thanks to, well, them not bringing any spells and not even the armor of stars. So yeah. Oh, are they gonna deploy in the forest? Interesting. Oh, the tree lines are here. Okay, so the tree lines are here, so the bloaty boys technically can just run through, and yeah, they can just technically run through and blow up the enemies on the other side of the battlefield. But anyways, let's see. Oh shit, I just realized I forgot something. Anyway, so after this game we'll take a short 5-minute break, as I have to deal with some chores that I totally forgot about. Anyways, we'll just be seeing enemies like these two players setting up right now with a bunch of Eagle Claw Bolters setting up position with War Lions as their defenses against all the War Hounds and whatnot, and Fellbats. Archers, light armor, and gold chevron, maybe they can counteract the Fellbat pressure by a bit with those firepower and using their slightly better melee stats to hold against the mobility pressure, allowing the War Lions, who would do excellent against the Scurvy Dogs and Fellbats, to just counter punch. They do have the armor. They do have the anti-infantry bonus, so with the Fellbats and Scurvy Dogs, who both count as infantry size, they will have that kind of melee stat advantage and also damage advantage. Either ways, this will be the start of the battle with a bunch of slow pushing zombie pirate deckhand mobs and a bunch of bloated corpses hiding in the forest, waiting to emerge in probably late game due to their slow speed, and pounce onto whatever units left on the battlefield. Anyways, all that's shown on the battlefield to liminal boundary right here are just these zombie pirate deckhand mobs. It will be a slow push, so apologies for that, but yeah, the zombies only have so much speed right now, so they can't really do much. And the Scurvy Dogs are biding their time because they don't want to expose themselves too early. If they do, then they will just get caught by the War Lions, possibly, and just get shredded and terrified. Not terrified, but the fear on the War Lions are handy to really counter the low leadership of the Scurvy Dogs. Anyways, Archmage pushing forward, hoping to probably spot hidden units, but I don't think that's... Yeah, I don't think that's exactly what they're planning to do. Actually, probably just trying to push forward and trigger the bloaty boys early. Now the zombie pirates, they're moving fast, they're running, but only 23 speed, so even if they're running, they can only stagger. It starts off running more like stagger forward when you look at it. Anyways, the mobility of both of the zombie pirates, the vampirates army is slowly moving forward. Artillery from the Eagle Claw Bolters are triggered, now raining down shots onto the expensive pirate deckhand mobs. Expensive, but still, it's not gonna be that expensive. After all, they only cost like what, 400 something. to begin with, or 500 something. Anyways, that's a lot of HP for them to cut through. They'll try to like back up a bit and hopefully avoid some shots, but it's not going to be anything useful. They need to just keep pushing forward ASAP. But this is still better than other units getting shot, say the mobility and also the bloaty boys. Now Silostra is pushing forward, zombie Paradaka mobs pushing forward. Yeah. They're just kind of pushing forward and taking damage at the same time. Not really doing much. Unfortunately, I mean, that's the fate of Vampire Coast with their melee push. But really, just luckily for Slade X here, the map has some vegetation, so the bloaty boys aren't exploded early. Especially with the Eagle Club for turning into single shots, aiming at them, and they just got shot down quick. Anyways, Felbat's finally getting into engagement, silencing the Eagle Club for these Felbats as well, and zombie pirates pushing ahead. They're still pushing. Like, I've been saying that they're pushing for like 2 minutes, and they're still pushing. I mean, not the fault of any players here, it's just that they're just stupidly slow. Either way, Felbats desperately tries to drop into the Eagle Claw bolt first, trying to silence them and rout them, but unfortunately a charge from the War Lions will quickly rout them. These Felbats are dropping in as well, but with the crossfire from the archers, they aren't going to hold much longer either. And Eagle Claw bolt first, they do enjoy the buff from the mighty martial prowess, so they're actually holding okay in combat. Now at the back, the Scurvy Dogs have exposed themselves from the tree line, pouncing into the archers, but the counter charge from War Lions, you can see how much damage it dealt onto the poor Scurvy Dogs right here. The anti-infantry bonus is no joke. And with that, these two Eagle Claw bolt first are secured. The Mage of Beast is now trying to chase off the bloaty boy here, but the other bloaty boy has emerged from the tree line. Same goes for the other side. All the bloaty boys are pushing up ahead, but are there any good targets for them to explode on? I have no idea. Now, this Eagle Claw Bolfer is slightly exposed, so instead of going after the Mage of Beast and pin her down, the Warhounds, the Scurvy Dogs will be quickly eliminating this Eagle Claw Bolfers. So, and this bloaty boy will probably be sacrificed in the face of the Mage of Beast. Now, make sure we are not missing any bloaty boy action here. Felbats drop onto the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers right now, and yeah, overwhelming these. Yeah, Felbats dropping onto Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, eliminating yet another artillery unit. But they don't really need artillery to win this game. All they need is just to keep these archers alive and shower all those zombie pirate attack mobs with arrows, maybe. That's what my line of thought goes. But anyways, Scurvy Dogs being pushed away by the War Lions. Felbats being eliminated by War Lions as well. Some of the bolt throwers are still firing, but not going to be for too long. This Archmage is fighting a whole bunch of zombie chaff and Scurvy Dogs, who are now switching their targets onto the archers with light armor. Oh no, a bloaty boy has exploded as they just blew up on a fucking artillery model. Yep, they probably did. Anyways, this bloaty boy is rushing into. Oh, another bloaty boy ran into the. It's just explosions left, right, and center. I can't keep up with everything. Bloaty boy comes in, wrecks their own Scurvy Dogs. Anyways, bloaty boy over here avoided the Mage of Beast. Now rushing in to fight as well, and there are still two more bloaty boys on the field. Balance of power is fairly equal, and yeah, the archers over here are just completely wiped out by the bloaty boy attack. Just gone. Anyways, we still have two bloaty boys here, so we can see them blew up in the face of War Lions. And anyways, zombie pirate deckhan mobs fighting off War Lions, who are routed in the face of, well, I would rout too if there's a bloaty boy coming at me. So anyways, but the problem for the Vampire Coast is that they don't have any more mobility left. All they have is a bunch of zombie pirate deckhan mobs, who doesn't exactly have the greatest mobility here. War Lions, in contrast, can run around, rear charge, cycle charge, and eliminate any units. Just ganging up onto these. Just ganging up onto enemy units. Oh no, and the bloaty boy is now taking shots from the bloated corpses, and there's no mobility from the vampire coast to shut it down. So the bloaty boy might just explode in front of, before it can even get close to the enemies and whatnot. Now, this bloaty boy is running the hell away from this Archmage of Beast here, and this bloaty boy trying his best to get into combat. He'll probably... Ooh, what the heck? It ran into a fucking artillery model again and blew up. Oh no. So, note to self, if I use a bloaty boy ever, make sure to keep it away from the goddamn artillery models. Oh, another shot from the archers. Can they stop the bloaty boy? But no, it seems like it's not likely the case, as it jumps in, blows up, boom, and this archer unit got wiped down to the last man. This lucky elf just survived the bloaty boy assault. Man, and like, yep, shattered. I was like, hey, the leadership is still holding, but no, it's gone. Never mind. Glorious bloaty boy. Anyways, so zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Yeah, surrounded by war lions. The war lions anti-infantry is quite useful right here, and the cycle charges and rear charges would be effective once they just knock over every single zombie pirate deckhand mob model and just gang up on them. The single entities in the high elf end is not exactly in the greatest condition right now. They are not primarily like melee units after all. So yeah, it's really down to the War Lions to carry the game. So yeah, go War Lions! You can do this! To be fair, I do like War Lions. They are an underrated unit in a lot of matchups. They can do something interesting work if in the right conditions and have the right buff. Of course, you're not getting the right buff here, but it's close enough to the right conditions. I mean, these zombie pirate deckhand mobs are anti-large, but if they can get the charge in the rear, their anti-infantry bonus would be quite impactful. As you can see here, they have eliminated yet another, almost eliminating yet another zombie pirate deckhand mob. The problem is whether the War Lions leadership can hold, as they are not known for their leadership. Of course, the gold chevron does kind of mitigate that fact. As you can see here, zombie pirate deckhand mobs, despite their over 10k HP, they are taking noticeable losses. Silastra coming in for the kill. This might be a bit of a trouble for the War Lions, as they might be terrified by Silastra. Still, there are multiple single entities coming in to fight. Liminal Boundary needs to bring back the Mage of Beast as well to come in to support this blob fight, get those characters together, gang up on Silastra, and then use the War Lions to cycle charge. So far, the cycle charges from the War Lions have proven to be quite effective, shutting down a lot of the zombie pirates, but the balance of power, despite in favor, is it in favor? Fairly even still. But still, the War Lions are now extremely tattered. Their leadership isn't holding up, as every charge they run into will be forcing them to take losses from the counter attacks. And there are no more high elf forces other than, well, this mage holding in the fray. Oh no, yep, not even the War Lions are holding up right now. The only really two War Lion units are holding up, and they are quickly taking losses from the zombie pirate deckhand mob. Their last hope is probably just to finish off Silastra in melee and then just trigger army losses, but this is not easy. War Lions, they are getting kills, but they're also taking damage, and they are also not getting kills fast enough there. As you can see here, they still have quite a bit of distance left from regaining their value. Probably same goes for the other War Lion unit. Anyways, we are lagging right now. Excuse me for a sec. We do have players from all over the world, so the distance might be an issue for, like, you know, getting those. Yeah, it might be an issue for players to connect. Anyways, another okay, not another, but like the only two War Lions are left. 2 War Lions are gone. Silastra really wants to get rid of those War Lions, coming in for that charm, debuffing their melee attack, and the terror from the ethereal unit has successfully routed the War Lions. Honestly, they should have pulled back earlier than now, as they have probably overstayed their welcome amongst this huge blob of zombie pirates. Let's see. But of course, there's still hope for the High Elves, I think. I don't know. This is looking real dicey for the High Elves. Finally, the third mage is coming back. Another cycle charge from the War Lions, dishing out some nice impact damage. But whether it's enough, we have no idea, and we'll have to wait and see. Mage of Beast slowly killing zombies, squeezing out extra magic from the Book of Hoeth and Starwood Staff, but unfortunately that's not going to do much. Warlands coming in yet again for the cycle charge, probably able to break these zombie pirate deck and mobs, but well, now only just these Warlands simply cannot hold up, and there's still like a full unit of zombie pirate deck and mobs to cut through. But yeah, let's see. This Archmage tries to pull out of combat so that the other two mages can possibly anchor and for a cycle charge, but Salastra, of course, hot in pursuit. Ethereal unit, slightly faster than regular unit, and every time she attacks, she does sing some chilling songs. Anyways, it seems that Salastra decided to give up on chasing after the Archmage, instead going after the regular mages, who are stuck fighting a whole bunch of zombies, just overwhelmed by numbers. Five last lions charging in, dishing out that impact damage against the zombie pirate deck and mob, but being intercepted by Salastra. One of them was not able to land an attack. Another attack, another bone-chilling song from Salastra, and well, finally worked down one of the zombie units, and two other zombie units are quite tattered, but balance of power is now against the favor of the High Elves. And despite a decent start for the High Elves, it seems that the artillery is just too much burden for the High Elves to win the game. And being surrounded by Chav, hit by Salastra Diaphin, all these mages simply can't do shit. And yeah, that's gonna be it. And looks like we're gonna go into artillery combat. We're gonna have artillery combat in finals. As you can see here, the Lions did okay. They're a pretty nice unit to counter infantry after all. It's just that the weight of the artillery is too much for the High Elf army, because there's so much artillery they can't protect them properly, and all that value was sank into the firepower and then shot down by a bunch of scurry dogs. So unfortunately, we don't see the Vampire Coast going into the next game. Wait. No, wait. Yeah, we don't see the Vampire Coast going into the next game. Yeah, I almost confused myself there. And anyways, because so whoever wins goes into the next round, but they're along with their build, but their builds are switched. So liminal boundary lost Slate X won, so Slate X, who designed the High Elf army, will be proceeding into the next game. And anyways, I forgot some chores. I need to quickly pick up some stuff. Come back in 2 minutes. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the little break there. So, what happened was, I was doing laundry earlier before I started the tournament, but then the organizing tournament thing got a little bit hectic and I forgot about it, and it's been sitting there for like a couple hours. Anyways, got it out, all good, and we should be able to get the next game. Alright, so it's gonna be Slate X versus S1DR. Oh wait a second. I need to save this. Replay. As in, I need to save this Blow T replay. Okay, Blow T replay 2. Done. Okay, let's search for S1DR. S1DR's room. Wait, where's your lobby mate? Strange. Right? Oh, Trash Fire 20. That's probably this. But yeah, it seems quite interesting that Blow T boys get popped by artillery models. Uncle Gant, the broken unit will eventually crumble away after another minute. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Undead Halberds literally carried the endgame there. Unfortunately. And in the end, we have the artillery fight. We're gonna have a shit ton of the 23rd Royal Goblin Artillery versus High Elves, our poor man orcs. So what are we gonna see? This is gonna be a shitty artillery show. I would say the bolt throwers would probably win in the artillery fight. But then there's so much artillery, like the War Alliance need to push up and shut them down. Especially with the bolt throwers, they have a slightly shorter range. Actually 380. How much on the? Yeah, slightly shorter range. So the Doom Divers and the Rock Lobbers do have that slight initiative in terms of shooting. They can start aiming first and shooting first. So if they actually land those shots, the bolt throwers are gonna be in trouble. Of course, like the High Elves do have the mobility to run over the Greenskins artillery, so it's gonna be interesting. Especially the War Lions would do great against Gobbles. Now, the thing is, there might be the big boss there to just chop them up. And if it comes to the end game where the big boss are just chopping lions and then there's only the mages left, and it's gonna be Greenskins winning. So, yeah, this is gonna be an artillery fight for sure. Just that I'm not quite sure how the non-artillery action will proceed. Bolt throwers are just such good anti-artillery piece. Yes, indeed, they're really cost-effective in what they do, and with the Doom Divers costing over 1,369, nice. And the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower costs slightly less than 1,000, and then all that extra gold that they saved are going into the mobility instead. And well, you can see here the goblins aren't exactly expensive and are quite chaff indeed. Shit. What the fuck is happening? Let's see. Strange. Strange. S1DR is not getting the right cost. There must be something. Okay, good. They got it. There must have been something extra in their build. So, yeah. The Archmages aren't even on the mount. So. Yeah, all they can do is just walk up and get beaten up by enemy units. Fun times. So So yeah, let's go. Uncle Gant, since HE have mobility, if any of their range survives, I think they have this. Yeah, very likely. But it really comes down to... Actually, I don't know. Like, if the orc bosses can just kill the War Alliance, maybe they have a chance to come back because, well, you don't expect mages to win in melee against freaking orc bosses. But it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Like, if it really comes down to whether they can protect the artillery well enough, and it's gonna be hard in the front of like 4 War Alliance. Maybe they can try matching the War Alliance with the goblins, but goblins are gonna be gobbles and just get wrecked by the anti-infantry and the splash attacks. Since High Elf has mobility, if any of their range survives, I think they have this. However, Slate was just given his regular quick battle build. So he for sure knows what he's doing. To be fair, yes, that is true. Slate is notorious, is infamous for his non-conventional builds with gold chevrons. And these are gold chevron builds for sure. And a shit ton of and very non-conventional. Let's see. It's gonna be interesting. I wouldn't put the Doom Divers so up front because you wanna have the Eagle Clawbolt first pushing slightly forward, and while they push forward, you have the Doom Divers counter-firing. Just get that advantage of 1 volley, and maybe that's enough to shut down those artillery. I don't know. Uncle Gant, I pick a different faction with green skins and denied myself the war. Ah well. Ah well. Sometimes things goes that way and doesn't really go well. Anyways, oh, interesting. So 4 goblins trying to protect artillery. Goblin lobbers, rock lobbers are just positioned on the far flank as a distraction. Very expensive distraction when you think about it, but a distraction nonetheless. And then there are the Black Orc big boss, just positioned in front to like just slow down enemy advance, not that, or maybe just push straight for the opponent. And then, yeah, goblins try to counteract War Alliance.
Dog agrees.
Wait, you don't get any faction ability when you're choosing sub-factions? I did not know that. What the fuck? That's a bit fucked up, but anyways. Oh shit, this is painful. Already, like, the Doom Divers are getting shot at, but they're now switching their targets over to focus fire something, losing that initiative in fire advantage. Oh, are they shooting at the War Alliance? But yeah, they're just getting beaten by all these, by all the Eagle Clawbolt fours right now, and the War Alliance are just pouncing on top of all these Doom Diver catapults. Goblins will be trying to push forward to like protect, but I don't know how effective it's gonna be. War bosses rushing forward ahead, try to shut them down, try to shut the artillery down, but one of them is already taking significant damage. War Alliance taking massive charge impact damage, and not War Alliance, Goblins taking massive charge impact damage from the War Alliance, but they are doing some minor damage as well. Over here, Rock Lobbers shut down by the War Alliance. Same goes for the other end. All the Eagle Clawbolt fours are turning around, trying to like shut down the leadership instead. This does give enough pressure to like turn their fire away from the Doom Diver catapults. Now the Doom Diver catapults can finally shoot at artillery or something. But the thing is, what they need to worry about isn't the artillery, but the War Alliance. Slate X needs to push ahead with the goblins, which he is actually reacting decently with the goblin infantry, just mirroring the movements of all these war lions, especially these healthy ones who haven't seen much action. They will be dragged down, taking some minor damage from the goblins, while this Black Orc Big Boss here taking damage from the anti-infantry melee armor-piercing attacks from the war lions, while the archers are just showering them with arrows. Oh, this is not a sight you see every day. 3 mages ganging up onto a single war boss, and the war boss is actually taking noticeable damage and possibly losing this fight even from all these single entities around. Now, Black Orc Big Boss routed by war lions being charged and whatnot. War lions over here is also quite victorious in terms of just routing units and like circumventing all the defenses of goblins. Doom Divers, most of them are still online, that's a good news, but the Orc leadership is kind of in shambles right now. Just focus fire by all those bolt throwers and whatnot. Rock Robbers are back and they are rushing back to the artillery, remounting them, ready to fire again. While the war lions are now stuck in melee, getting dragged down to the mud. They are a quick glass cannon unit after all, especially when surrounded by infantry. So Gold Chevron Gobbles are actually doing some okay damage. Now back to here, Orc War Boss doing some good damage, actually almost beating down the Archmage of Beast to a pulp, while the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, well, actually no, why is it? No, these are not Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. The archers with light armor are now really being prioritized here. And Slate X doing a really good job protecting the artillery. This is quite interesting. Now, War Lions spotting the remounting Goblin Rockbird, they will just jump back down onto the artillery and shut it down again, but that does divert their attention away from all these Doom Divers who are still shooting. Orc War Boss beating back the double mages. One of them mages are now pushing up ahead now, and War Lions still running around trying to get into the Doom Diver catapults, but they are repelled by the Golden Chevron Goblins. Really nice micro over there with the Goblins, honestly. I did not do it half as well as Latex does. And then, unfortunately, Gobbles are still Gobbles, so they will be finished off by some War Lions, Gold Lions when you think about it, with all the Chevrons. But Wa is now popped. Their leadership is increased, and they will be fighting with more effectiveness, just punching in the damage against War Lions right now. Now it's an artillery exchange between Doom Divers and Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, and Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers does have the advantage, but this war boss has regrouped, charging in and possibly silencing one of the artillery crew. Over here, the Orc war boss is still fighting. God damn, such a tough guy over here. And actually routing the Archmage, possibly killing her even. But there's still one more mage to go, but with the mage being routed, that's like half the pressure taken off, and one-on-one, the Orc War Boss absolutely would floor that poor mage in the fight. At the same time, the missile support for the High Elves are slowly dwindling as the Doom Divers are bombarding the lines of archers, while the War Lions are slowly taking damage from all the goblins, really. And there are actually still 2 Doom Divers online for so long. Of course, not going to be for long as this one got caught by the War Lions. Now, some more goblins charge in, hoping to just drag them in melee and screen out for the Doom Divers. Are there still more War Lions? Yes, they are, and they are pushing indeed. Not sure where they're going though. While the Orc Boss still fighting. Did they? Oh, did they just kill the other mage? They probably did. Interesting. That poor mage just get wrecked by the War Boss, but that means without any like other unit models getting into the line of sight, these Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers are free to just fire left, right, and center into the Orc War Boss. They just turn around and focus fire, and same goes for the other Black Orc Big Boss. They are surrounded by War Lions, not exactly a good sight for them. Still, Slate X doing a really good job protecting the Doom Divers and shutting down and just repelling the War Lions, but with the High Elves, Eagle Couple Throwers surviving this combat. The Doom Divers are in a dire situation, as they cannot win a fight against all these Eagle Couple Throwers. All 4 of them online? Yeah, all 4 of them are still online. Some of them lost some models, but mostly intact. And Gobbles no longer have the ability to push. Only with 3 Doom Divers, 1 online on this one, 4 online, 4 online, 9 Doom Divers versus 4, 3, that's 7 already. 3, 11, and 13 Eagle Claw Bolters. Yeah, Doom Divers are pretty grim. The only hope maybe is that the Goblins can carry the day, but after the Doom Divers are gone, it's gonna be army losses. So I don't really think it's gonna be working here. Especially the bolt thrower crews can just switch their ammo type into scatter shots and bombard the lines of the Gobbles. And Warlands, they do have that fear effect to quickly rout the Gobbles. So now it's just an artillery time, turkey shooting competition. Yeah. So that's probably gonna be it, I think. I don't think the Greenskins have any way to pull back this game. Like, once the Goblins start pushing, Warlands will be able to attack these undefended Doom Diver catapults, and once the Doom Diver catapults are gone, it's army losses. And that's gonna be it, I think. Like, they don't even need, oh yeah, with all these Doom Divers gone, like, the Eagle Claw Bolters are just switching into scatter shot. And the Goblins can't even get close to the artillery. Like, just a simple charge from the Warlands would be enough to break them at this point. And we just check. They bombard, and they bombard. And army losses, gonna hit. Oh wow, even the Black Orc not Black Orc Big Boss, the Orc War Boss is now finished by the Warlines of Strays. All that's left is these units. Like, all that's left are just some Gobbles and army losses. GG to both players here, and thank you for everyone who is playing in this tournament. Definitely see some super non-meta builds and super awful builds throughout the entire game. I still love those explosions from the Bloaty Boys though. And yeah, absolutely awful builds. Exactly the point of the entire game and entire tournament, and the trash and the dumpster fire. So yeah, I was actually worried whether we get enough players to like sign up and play earlier, but it seems that we got enough for at least 3 rounds of game. So that's pretty decent. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this trashy tournament. I certainly did. Yeah, there are some stupid builds in here, and some of them are quite beautiful indeed. What else? Personally, I think my favorite is probably the. Let me think. What is everyone's favorite build? My personal favorite is probably the Bloaty Boy one. No, I don't know. It's a close split between the Bloaty Boy and the Slaanesh build. Just with that pure non-armor piercing melee attack. But yeah, Huffington, McNeedy, great tourney, good fun. Thank you for appreciating it. Yeah, and thank you for watching, man. I think this was an ideal amount of garbage. We probably need more. I might do another themed tournament build at some point later, which is the tournament, the game 3 version of the Slaanesh bullshit tournament. If you check my archives, there should be a tournament like the last tournament I hosted. Not the last tournament I streamed, because that was hosted by a different player. The last tournament I hosted was the Teenage Bullshit, where players would design an army or for a faction, and then we'll just chuck that into a RNG generator, and let's see who gets what build kind of thing. It's going to be an RNG base, and like, yeah, feel free to just make a trash build by then and force other players to suffer as well. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this battle and all the tournaments. And yeah, I don't think I have much else to... Yeah, I don't have much else planned right now. Hopefully, I'll be doing more tournaments in the future since I'm slowly settling in the UK. And I have a decent-ish internet now. At least I can stream, as you can see here. And yeah. And big thanks to everyone who participated. This was a... I love seeing those trashy ideas. Those are glorious. We probably need more trash in our lives when you think about it. But yeah, that's probably it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Itch, signing out.